Greetings and welcome to the channel. Today we're in a place called Baunton, which is just outside Cirencester in Gloucestershire. I was actually here yesterday, but my car developed an issue. It had rubber burning and the brakes were intermittently failing, so I had to take it to a garage. Thankfully I survived the ordeal and I'm back here today. So we'll certainly get to look at the exterior and hopefully the interior too. So join me. So here we are at St Mary's Magdalene in Baunton. The light's a little bit against us at the moment from the point of view of taking a decent picture from this side, but we'll head our way to it and see what we may. It's quite a pretty environment it's in. This is my troublesome car. Yesterday anyhow, fine today so far. Anyhow, welcome to the parish church of St Mary Magdalene, Baunton. I think that's the way to pronounce it. Nice. Well, the light is certainly much better this side. I reckon it's going to be open. Quite a small porch. It looks like a newly painted door actually. Quite glossy. Fairly plain interior to the porch, but it serves its purpose. Spoke too soon. Is it open? I might have to contact someone. Well, at present it appears the church is locked, but there may be someone opposite the church that I can contact, so I'm going to try that now. See you in a minute. Well, in a moment for you. So if the place is locked, there is actually someone opposite the church, number 41, and a man's coming to do that in a moment. Or if they're not available, there's a place, Everglades, a little bit further down the hill.
There you go.
Oh, that's really good of you. Thank you ever so much.
That is amazing, though.
That does look incredible.
17 in the country like that.
Oh, really?
Well, that kind of painting, yeah.
Ah, right.
Done in the 14th, 15th century.
Oh, beautiful.
It was covered up in the Reformation, and they found it underneath the whitewash.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Paid £6,000 about 10 years ago to have it worked on, but yeah, it's St Christopher going across the river, and you have to stand and look at it for a long time, but you'll see Jesus on his shoulders.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
And lots of fish and all sorts. It's quite a good depiction.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for that then.
Have a good day.
Thank you. So here we are. Well, that was nice and simple to get inside and not a lot of waiting time for me. None for you, of course. So we'll have a better look at that picture in a moment. But we'll have a wander around first. Looks like they've got a pump organ here. I might have a little go on that if we can. Oh, it's quite a small place, but very nice. The statue behind me is believed to represent St Catherine of Siena from 1347 to 1383. It was donated in 2003 by the family of the late Mr Hugh Wallace, who was the church warden here. It says here, visitors are invited to view this medieval altar frontal. Please close curtains after viewing. Unfortunately, in this light, it's difficult to exclude me from the actual altar frontal, but you'll get some idea of it. You get the windows moving around while I'm moving the camera too. I quite like how they stored these kneeler cushions behind this wooden facade. There's some details below the mural that I'll read out. An historic image of St. Christopher has been saved from decay by Baunton parishioners. Over £8,000 was raised to conserve the 15th century feature in the 12th century church of St. Mary Magdalene. And although the depiction has now been preserved by specialists, a further £3,000 is needed for contingencies. Andrew Hall, church warden and parochial church council treasurer, said conservationists had to inject adhesive behind the north wall painting to stop it flaking off. He said the rector and the church wardens are the custodians of the church. We consider it a duty to preserve the historic treasure for present and future generations. At the moment, remedial work is being done to stop water coming in through the walls of the church. Mr. Hall said the large painting is the first image visitors see when they enter the church. The painting shows St. Christopher carrying an infant across the river. This was an extremely popular subject during the medieval period and was reproduced in many mediums. St. Christopher is a saint of travellers, but people also believe that anyone who saw his image would not die a violent death that day. According to the legend, St. Christopher was a man of gigantic proportions and strength known as Reprobus. He wanted to serve Christ and searched long and hard for him. Eventually, Reprobus came across a hermit who instructed him in the Christian faith and converted him. The hermit also told Reprobus the best way he could serve Christ was to use his strength to carry travellers across the nearby dangerous river, which he did. One night there was a storm and a child appeared, insisting that Reprobus carry him across the river. With each step Reprobus took, his burden became heavier and he felt his strength would fail. When at last he reached the other side safely, the child turned to Reprobus and told him he had carried all the sins of the world across his shoulders. The child asked him to place his walking staff in the ground, which miraculously sprouted flowers and dates. The child then revealed himself to be Christ. Afterwards, Reprobus became St. Christopher, left his servant at the river, and preached his faith to anyone who came his way. In a Baunton painting, St. Christopher carries his staff and wears a red cloak and green tunic. The child Christ holds an orb and sits on Reprobus's shoulder, but he is partially obscured by the insertion of a Victorian wall built to support the roof. There are other features in the painting, including a fisherman, believed to represent the devil, and a mermaid to symbolise pride and gladness. It's an article from 2003. It gives details of who to contact. It's 21 years ago, so I won't give those because they're probably out of date. I think perhaps some of the photographs I've taken are a bit more satisfactory. I was struggling to see the detail and move the camera to video. I like the light on the floor here. It's always nice to see the reflection of it. Some details of the pulpit. A bit of woodworm, I think. And a spare bit of carpet. It's quite a simple roof. The reredo, the wooden bit behind the crosses and altar, is quite plain, I think. I don't want to sound insulting, but I don't mind simple things. Sometimes we complicate life too much. It's interesting, but behind the pulpit there appears to be a doorway, and if I can make my way up here without tripping over, that's been filled in. And also there's a further one higher up the wall. The font looks simple but old, and the font cover is quite nice. Let's touch it. I'll touch it on your behalf. Nothing wrong with simplicity. This was the Baunton Church Band in 1880. And it looks like this rope leads to the bells on the exterior. There's no tower as such. Just seems to be a small cover-up, which we'll have a look at in a moment when I go outside. This church is delightful in its simplistic beauty. It's not marred by any excessive adornment. I think often a simple faith is a more authentic faith. I thought I'd have a little play on the pump organ. Looks in good nick anyhow, but I'm not really that used to pump organs, so I don't know quite how it's going to work. We'll give it a whirl. With the diapason out, it's got a nice meaty low note. That's the lowest note. Yeah, from what I can work out, air seems to be leaking on the right hand side. Actually, even when I'm not pressing anything, it has stopped. That one. When I press the right pedal, you can hear that the air is leaking out. If I just press it once. The other side, it's doing the same. Yeah, I don't know. Don't understand these things. I keep forgetting to press the pedals. Well, you signed a book. Let's go and have a look at the exterior. Oh, it's quite warm out here now. Let's follow the path. The shed in front of me contains a compostable loo, so that's really nice of the church to have thought about that and its impact on the environment. There's the mini bell tower. Can't see the bells from this angle though. There's not many people in the graveyard, seemingly. It's a bit far for my camera, but you get to see the bells from this side a bit. Don't think I can get any closer, can I? Slightly. But the light's against us again. I can see it better with my eyes actually than I can through the camera. You just have to imagine they're there. Just two small bells. Right now my tummy's telling me it's lunchtime, so I'm going to have some cheese and cucumber sandwiches in the churchyard, I think. There's a better view of the mini bell tower from this side, but it's probably going to be a bit blocky in my camera because it's not great at distance. Just about to see the little bells, almost Tinker bells. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.